season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. From the 6. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that, and they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets, and bottom line, how do they get a win?
It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on first and second down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Back to throw. Brooks going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A big play there for Philly.
And that looked almost to be a case of, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished.
And we knew that they'd try to attack the secondary, but I'm not sure that we thought they'd do it right on the first drive of the game. But here they saw an opportunity, seized it, and it's a big play right off the bat.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Looking to throw. Brooks. Throw left side complete. That's Henry. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. To throw on second down. Brooks. And his pass incomplete. And now following the incomplete pass, we'll get a timeout here for an injured player. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. And to give this time to the tailback. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold him to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal.
Off the play fake. Brooks. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. A big loss there of about 7 yards on 1st and goal. So now it's 2nd down.
A CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
And they decided to go with the safety blitz there. And look, if that gets picked up, quarterback really has the advantage then because he'll have more time to throw the football and some wide open space. But when it doesn't, that's a guy who gets a free run into the backfield. And oftentimes, the QB ends up on his backside as he did there.
7th play coming now on this opening drive. This is 3rd and goal. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Call it a loss of 8 there, and it's going to lead to a 4th down. 4th and goal.
It's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. So on now the field goal team for Philadelphia. And his kick is good. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and And they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
And he comes to the end of the season leading the NFL in passing yards. And that's not necessarily something you set out to do at the beginning of the year, but it's a good illustration of how remarkable and consistent he's been all season.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 21 carries, 76 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, we know they've clinched a playoff spot, but there's plenty of football left to play. And I'm a proponent of continuing to do what you've done throughout the season, especially with teams that are heavy run teams. Because if you throttle back too early, you lose the rhythm of the run game.
And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A big play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Giants have taken the lead.
I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run on the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
And the next-gen stats are going to tell the story, and wow, what a story it is. Nearly a full 23 miles an hour. One of the fastest plays on record, folks.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
This one fielded at the 5. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. The partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him. This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
And he's going to be brought down back at his own 6-yard line. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down.
That's 3 sacks now. That's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. The Eagles send out their punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return. And the Giants will begin this drive in good shape, 1st and 10. As the Giants head back out there, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, it's team talking about it to each other. supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. They'll set up a throw. Throw left side, complete to Tony. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. And to give this time to the tailback. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. A great effort there. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. Extra point splits the uprights, and that pushes the lead up to 11. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. From the 6. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Well, this defense for the Giants, they were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
And with the playoffs ahead, this is how you build momentum, because they pitched a shutout last week, and I don't care who you're playing. That's not easy to do at this level, and they're playing their best football at the right time of year.
Now Brooks looking to throw on 2nd down. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
After one, a 14-3 ball game. Now 2nd quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. It's Porter, and he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Second and 11. Off play action. Brooks. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. Now Brooks to throw. On third down. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. Another drive coming up for New York's offense. And if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They're guarding against the upset.
2nd and 6. Here's Tony on the quick slant. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. Back to throw again. Going to throw right side here, complete. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then the offensive...
Open man, he's got him. It's Tony for a Giant touchdown. Kadarius Toney, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out.
And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is up to 18 now. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Juju Smith-Schuster and the rest of this offense heading back out there. Well, he's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season. Going to need a pretty good finish, though, if he wants to reach that mark.
Well, I like how you phrased it, partner. He is within shouting distance. If he stays on this pace, he's got a shot at it. But he needs a big game in there, right, to make sure that he gets it. So you know that during the week, in practice, and look, he asks for the ball all the time anyway. He's really going to ask for the ball and let his quarterback know he's open.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, Brooks. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
The Eagles on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he is going to have an Eagles first down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2. That catch puts him 80 away from 1,000. He's now at 920, and 920, that ties him with Torrey Holt.
That's a great name to remember, but the number 920 almost boggles the mind, doesn't it? You're talking about 80 catches away from 1,000. What a phenomenal achievement if he gets there, and I have no reason to believe he won't.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They run the counter. Porter. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Back to throw. Brooks. He finds his man. Complete. It's Shepard.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And this is going to be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And the Giants are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
New York's offense back out there and set to go. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Tony. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
Good strong throw and catch right there, and so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Giants. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Giants are able to add on to their first half lead. Extra point attempt to come here. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. That time a 6-play drive. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The Eagles offense going to take over late in this first half. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number one. Brooks throwing on first down. He finds his man complete. It's Wolf. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. He finds his man complete. It's Porter. Now they got to get to the line quickly. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Complete. Hunter Henry with a grab. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. They'll look to throw again. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. These two teams, you might recall, met up back in September in Week 3. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Brooks now to throw on 3rd down. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And this almost intercepted. Not sure he saw the free safety that time. But lucky, incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down. Here's Brooks. A final shot before break. A desperation heave for the end zone. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And nothing comes of this last-ditch attempt at points as time will run out on this first half. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they get the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. They'll look to throw. That'll be caught. It's Tony. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want to challenge. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing.
Can't get away, and he's taken down. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on third down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. And just a 30-yard punt that time. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. New York set to take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and give these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Here's a 2nd and 7. That's complete to Tony. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Ball sits on the 10, 2nd and 5. Not something you want to see in week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds, right around the 7. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. This is caught. And the Giants are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. And they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
And they'll run again. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Giants just continue to pour it on. So the toss play effective, even down here near the goal line.
Yeah, and you're hoping the defense commits too many men to stop the run in the middle of the field and that your blockers can gain a little bit of an advantage. And when they do, foot race to the pylon, and this time he had the speed to win that race.
Extra point right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. They'll keep it on the ground. Porter, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5. Looking to throw. Brooks. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down. The Eagles send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. And last time out, another touchdown. I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
They'll wind up getting just a yard. And that'll bring up a 3rd down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he will have a Giants 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. We're off to the 4th quarter here on Christmas Eve. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown.
They can't stop you,
A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Giants are on their way to a 13th win on the year as they add on to their lead.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Takes it at the 7. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball gets. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd. Back to throw. Brooks. Under pressure, they got him again. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack. And it's 3rd down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. He'll look to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 61 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. And it's caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the line.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the fourth quarter.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. It's the fullback. His fourth touchdown on the year. And the Giants have got it on cruise control. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by one more. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run.
Takes it at the 7. And he returns this to the 22. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. Just too much to handle on the other side in this one. 3 yards remain for second down.
Looking to throw. Brooks.
Oh, and that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Brooks. It's caught on the right side at Smith. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves them with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
Man, that's trash. That's trash. 46 to Mike. 46.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
It's a gain of 2 yards. And it's 3rd down.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Giants, they continue to rack up the victories as this